What's up, biker gang? I don't feel like wearing a hat for this rant, but this has been long overdue, and I'm going to make this rant before this season ends. In this video, I'm going to do a rant on winter and cold weather and why I think sub-zero, extreme cold, snowy, and other type of weather like that sucks. I'm making a rant because like this winter has been pretty bad, like especially in January. We had a whole snowstorm in the large majority of the U.S. Winter Storm Fern. We had that. And we had like inches and inches like piled on of snow. It was so horrible. I'm going to explain why I don't like snow outside of December. Because the snow is just horrible. Because you have to shovel it. Like, shoveling the snow is freaking awful. And there is also too much ice, too. You got to be careful when you walk places or get outside not to slip and fall on ice, because ice can be really slick and very slippery. You got to be careful when you're driving on ice because the roads can be very slick. And I have to make sure, that it's all cleaned up, because the roads would be pretty terrible and your car can get stuck if you're not careful. Like, you gotta drive really careful. You can't get out of the house, because in certain snow, you can't get out of the house. And if you do get out, you have to wear heavy clothing. You have to wear a coat, some jeans, some boots if you have to, if it's snowing really bad, some gloves, a sock cap, all that. And I don't want to wear all that crap on me. I just like it right now. Like, now it's pretty fine. It's like in the 60s. Because very recently it's almost spring. We've been getting really nice weather. I can just wear a t-shirt like this and some shorts, and well, that's all. Like during spring, summer, and the beginning of fall, you don't have to wear too much clothing, no matter how hot it gets. And I don't like the snow for one thing, because some places are closed. And if it's too much snow, you can't get out of the house. And even an ice storm is really bad too. Because, well, what if there's an ice storm going on in your house? Well, if you lose power, you're fucked. Because then you don't have any heat. You gotta rely on heavy clothing and such to warm you up, and it's not good enough because it still feels cold outside. Not to mention, if you're outside in the cold for too long, you can get sick. Like, you can get a runny nose, like a cold. And it doesn't feel good. And I don't really like the type of weather where it feels so unbearable to the point where I gotta wear heavy clothes. I don't see why people enjoy this season. Like, it sucks. That's why I wish I lived in Florida, because if I were in Florida, I don't have to deal with the rest of those seasons. I don't have to deal with, heavy snow, extreme cold. Like, any weather that's under 50 or 40 degrees is fucking terrible. Because I remember yesterday, I went out in the morning to go to the gym, and it was super cold. I mean, it wasn't that cold, but it was like in the 40s. It just didn't feel too good when I had to go to the gym. And I just didn't want to drive my car the last few days, especially since I was saving money on gas, because gas prices have been going up. But that's a topic for another video. But still, like, not only that, but I have to get in my car, start it up, and literally wait for it to warm up when it's super cold outside. I don't want to do that. At least in any other season, like summer or spring, for example, if the weather's a lot warmer, I can just start my car and I don't have to wait for it to warm up. Like, that's just a waste of time. And you have to make sure your car warms up. Otherwise, like, it won't run properly. And I hate that shit. I like weather like spring. Like, right now it's going to feel nice, but in the next few days, it's going to get really cold, like in the 30s. It's like, come on, man. It's almost spring. That's one thing I hate about spring. It's still fucking cold even in March and April. It's like, when the weather gets warm, stay warm, okay? All you people who like winter, y'all can move to Alaska or something, because at least in Alaska, there's no such thing as heat or humidity, and it's not that hot there. Like, y'all seem to freaking hate the hot weather and, humidity and such. Well, at least I can go swim. At least no matter how hot it gets, I can at least get into my car and get out of my house and drive to a grocery store. But let me tell you this, in some weather, like how cold it is, you can't leave your house. It's like, you gotta be quarantined and stuck in your damn house, and you can't leave your house. Like, shut down your life, make no plans, hibernate till it's over, shovel the driveways, and all that. Like, I hate shoveling snow. It's too much fucking work. You know, having to clear off all the snow from your driveway just so you can leave your house. And let me tell you, there's some fun things like going for a sledding and I guess playing in snow. Now, I like snow when it comes to my birthday, when winter begins, and of course Christmas and New Year's. But once it's January after, I get really sick of the cold weather. Because it's just so boring. You can get sick if you're out in the cold for too long. And they say, oh, you can get heat stroke and such. Well, there's better ways to prevent that. It's no better during the cold weather because, you know, you can get sick if you're out for too long. You can get hypothermia. You might die from being out in the cold for too long. You know, you could freeze to death. It's horrible. Even if you got the right type of clothes on, right type of clothing on too. It's like, I don't want as cold as an ice box. I don't want to live like it's fucking Antarctica or something. I don't want to live in like sub-zero cold Siberia-like weather. I don't want to live like I'm in fucking Russia. That's for damn sure. That's why I want to live in Florida. Because at least there's barely any cold weather in Florida. It's usually really nice. It's really sunny. Great weather to go to the beach. Great weather to go to the amusement park. And it's way better than living in this shithole known as Kentucky or shit-fucky. Because I don't want to live in cold, you know, weather. That's why I have my beard on and such. That's why I have a beard. And even though I'm a bit overweight, it still sucks. You can still feel how cold the weather is. You know, it's hard to get used to it. Even if you got all this protection, like this beard, for example, like I have right now. I grow a beard, like, I gained some weight, but I still feel fucking cold. You know, it doesn't really matter. Even if you have all that clothing on, you still feel cold. And when you get inside somewhere, you feel so sweaty. You have to take all that stuff off. And I hate when I'm in my warm bed and I gotta get up. And I just feel really cold because there's not a lot of heat in the house, you know? And like I said, if you lose power due to winter storms or ice storms and such, you have no heat in your house. Like, how are you going to heat yourself up if you don't have a fireplace or anything like that? If you have no heat, you're going to end up fucking freezing to death. You know, that's another reason cold weather sucks. Honestly, fuck the freezing cold, fuck the cold weather, spring and summer all the way. And if you don't agree with me, that's too bad. If you're angry and you're gonna rant on my favorite season, summer, and you hate the heat and such, well, how about I rant on your favorite season? How about I rant on winter? How about I rant on your freezing sub-zero cold and your shitty fucking snow? Because I'm so sick of the cold. You know, it's like, especially when it gets to March, April, May, it still can be cold. It's like, I hate that about spring. It's like, when it's warm, stay warm. I don't want any colder than 50 fucking degrees outside. That's for damn sure. Like this type of weather right now is decent. You know, I like this type of weather because it's not that cold. It's just a nice breeze. You know, I would prefer more sunshine. Sun is slightly peeking out, but really, I prefer like a spring and summer, and even early fall too. September and October are good months, just as long as it ain't too fucking cold. 'Cause that's one thing I don't like about fall, especially October and November. It gets too fucking cold. I don't see how any of y'all like the fact that cold weather has to last for like, I don't know, like it lasts through December, January, February, March, even April. Why do you want weather that lasts 5 fucking months? Why do you want it to be cold 5 months of the year? I don't understand how you can handle that type of weather. I don't get it. I can name so many reasons why the summer is so much better. Not just because you're off school for break, but also, like, I have a pool right there. I can open my pool and I can go for a swim when it's really hot outside. And I can just, like, I can still do certain things, you know? It's real nice. But yeah, anyways, that's about it for my rant on winter and freezing cold temperatures and why cold weather sucks and why winter and freezing cold sucks in general. Anyways, I appreciate that. I just want to get this rant out there, get it done before winter ends, and I can't wait for spring to begin on March 20th. I just hope it, when it gets warm again, just like it got earlier this month in March, I hope it stays warm. Because here's the thing, I'm fine with cold weather during Christmas, but not when it has to be like in April or during spring, you know? Why is it warm on December, but yet we get cold weather in late March and April when spring begins? That makes no sense. Anyways, that's about all. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Brick, and I'm out.